Greetings, everyone. I am so excited about today's episode. We have an amazing guest, Coach Simone Kelly, founder and CEO of Own Your Power. She's a gifted, intuitive life coach who has guided many people, including myself, toward healing, purpose, and peace. Today, we'll explore how spiritual connection can awaken us to deeper truths about ourselves and our lives. Coach Kelly, would you like to share some information about yourself?
You know, you can call me Simone. Cut that, coach. Well, hi, everyone. Thank you for having me and congratulations on your very first episode. I'm honored to be on it. First and foremost, I'm an intuitive life coach. I'm an author of 6 books now, working on my 7th. And I'm originally from New York, Bronx, New York. BX in the house. So I met Yali, but we were both getting oil changes. Shout out to On-Call Mechanics, our friend. So we were in the waiting room and somehow we started talking about chakras. I think
Yes, we
that's
did.
what we did. And then before you know it, I whipped out a crystal, started checking her chakras. We were doing a mini Reiki session in the lobby of mechanics. That was like a nice connection how we first met. Remember that? Good old
Yes,
days.
gratitude, Lowell. Hey, shout out to Lowell, On-Call Mechanics.
Yes, I lived in South Florida. I'm from New York, but I lived in South Florida 15 years, and I've been in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, for the last 5 years. My background is in business marketing. In my late 20s is when I started to really develop my intuition a lot more. I saw things and used to feel things as a kid for many years. Of course, like many of us, we're told we're making it up. We're having a bad dream. It's your imagination, that kind of thing. So a lot of things that I really saw, I was told it was, it was imagination. So unfortunately, I didn't develop my intuition until my late 20s. But then once things started to happen for me where I was having really prophetic dreams, I said, okay, enough is enough. I got to find a teacher. And then, you know how they say when the student is ready, the teacher will come. I started to meet people that could develop my intuition a lot more. And from there on, I came out the psychic closet. Because I was a business person, my background is marketing, I was a business coach. So it was very, I guess the word would be shameful. I was embarrassed. I didn't want to tell people I could do all this weird, crazy stuff,
Right.
even though it's technically not that crazy, but we're taught this, So I didn't tell anybody for a long time. And then when I started practicing on my friends, that's how it all got out of hand, because I would do readings for my girlfriends and then they would tell their friend, another friend. I was like, okay, y'all got to start paying me.
Right.
And then I started
Exactly.
friends and family rate. And then it started from that to actual rates that I started charging people. But even I was still undercover. I didn't have my picture on the website. I didn't have my last name on the website. I had a picture of like a Indian lady wrapped. It was like a Native American kind of picture of a woman.
Okay.
It was very mystical. You didn't know it was me. What happened is I went to Peru in 2012. No, I think it was 2011. I went to Peru and it was a spiritual retreat. And that retreat opened my eyes a lot more, because the shamans we were with, they were telling me, they were like, you have a gift, stop hiding it.
Yeah.
And when I came back from that retreat, I did a mini retreat in Dallas with a lot of clients that I've never met before. It was my first time meeting them in person. And
wow,
that event, shout out to Khadijah. I'm doing a lot of shout outs today. Shout out to Khadijah because she was the host of the event. That event changed my life even for the better, because to meet people that you've talked to and helped them and you don't know the outcome, because usually people don't call me and tell me what happened after the fact. It blew me away, because when people came in, we'd ask them, okay, how do you know Simone? Like, when we started the actual workshop, we went, how do you know Simone? And then people were like, oh yeah, I was going through a really bad breakup and my husband's going to commit suicide until I had my or I was getting abused by my husband, and then I realized my power went until I talked to Simone. And then by the time we all went around the room, everybody was boo-hooing. Like I was like,
wow.
Yeah. So that at that time I was working a job as a consultant, and everybody, all my clients were like, Simone, you need to just do this full time. Stop hiding. You know what I mean? And from there on, I started. That day I taught for the first time like intuition. Like I taught like a little class like on how to use your intuition. Everybody was blown away. They were like, how do we know how to do that? And that from there was my real like excitement of, this is my calling. Like I have to do.
Amazing.
I have to teach this and I have to do, reading. So,
and that's a perfect segue into what we're talking about, right? Because after that day that we were in the lobby at the mechanics, I had scheduled my very first reading, actually.
Okay.
Few. And I'm not sure if you remember or not, but
I
that
do.
particular, because I've had many ever since with you, but that particular session was so powerful, was so amazing, was so eye-opening, was so revealing, was so confirming that I was in awe. If at any point in my life, which I did, had any questions or doubt about spirituality, about if what I was hearing was that spirit, the spirit realm, was I being guided, that session blew the top off. Okay. So in that particular session, we tapped into my mom, and I remember when she reached back and she asked for forgiveness for mistreating me, because I wanted to understand why she treated me the way she treated me. And so from that, there were many other details, but that stuck to me as to how important it is for us to stay connected to the spirit realm, right? And then it further confirms whenever we watch the movie, and I call it Wakanda Forever because I can never remember the title. But when they have that particular scene where he goes to speak to his dad in the spirit realm, that's real. And people don't realize how real it is, right? So that always reminds me of when I reconnected with my mom and how she asked for forgiveness and how she shared deep information that I actually was able to validate.
Okay.
And so that was an amazing experience for me. So, and I'm not just saying it because I'm interviewing you or because we cool.
Well, I'm
I'm saying it
glad.
because it was the beginning of my journey as to where I am today. And I'm grateful that I took that step. First of all, I'm grateful for meeting you on that day, which was not by chance, right? I
Right.
believe that everything is aligned,
No
and
coincidence
grateful
ever.
for the reading, because had you not given me that, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I can actually say that. Enough of me, right? Can you share a powerful moment where your gift as an intuitive life coach helps someone awake to their purpose or find their peace?
There's so many stories. I've been doing this now 18 years. And I think one of the biggest things in general, I could say, and then I could try to find a story, is getting people closure.
Yes.
Whether it's somebody alive or dead, because sometimes we make up stories in our head of why certain things happen.
Yes.
You don't always understand why, like you said, people treated you a certain way. You don't know what they went through.
Right.
The other thing that gets even heavier is a past life connection. People
Mm.
understand, oh, well, that's why he treated me like that, or that's why we felt so connected when we first met, or so that's
Okay.
one of the things that just it's so many different things that I can do that kind of help bring closure. But one of my favorite ones is most recent. It was almost like something out of a 48 hours, one of them TV shows, was because one of my clients, she called because her friend passed away.
Okay.
And usually when I read somebody, I don't see them like sitting in front of me. It's like I'll feel their energy more than anything. My eyes are closed, but I'll feel their energy. I see them coming through an elevator. That's my little visualization. So
Okay.
this girl, when she came in, she was holding up a glass, like, "Hey, party over here!" Like,
Oh,
she came through very happy, right? And I kept seeing Kim Kardashian. So I'll see things that look like the person or act like the person.
okay.
Or if it's somebody like, oh, she acts like Tanya or she looks like Keisha, it'll be like people
Yeah.
I know and it can relate. So
Hmm.
hear commercials, I hear songs, all kind of weird stuff come through. But but I know how to translate it for the person, you know what I mean? Because they're not gonna
Yeah.
get it. So in this case, she came party girl over here looking like Kim Kardashian. And I said, hey, was she a party girl? And she goes, yeah.
Hmm.
And I tell people, don't tell me how they passed away if it's somebody that passed away. Because that way I can
Okay.
from, little things that I'm getting. Then they showed me somebody I knew that died of fentanyl overdose. I said, did she have an overdose? Did something happen to her? And she said, yeah, yeah. Oh my God, that's her. That's her. And then, so just give me a little confirmation. So
Okay.
as more comes in, she turned from happy to angry. She was like, you better get him. You better get him. And I'm like, who? And I'm like, I got scared a little bit. I was like, she's saying you better get him. And she said, yeah, the guy that did it to her. So apparently she was on a date or whatever, and somebody drugged her.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody put something in. I don't know what they were smoking, drink. I don't know how you do fentanyl, if you snort it, or I have no idea. But whatever it is, they put it in something she was doing, and she overdosed. Only 20,
Oh wow.
27, young girl. So basically, she was just confirming a lot of things. But she came through. Then she'll go back and forth, happy to sad, happy sad.
Hmm.
She was very vengeful. Even though people think, oh, when you cross over, you have wings and you're floating in the sky and you're happy. Yeah, people usually, depending on what level of vibration they were on, they're the same. They might come through cursing. I've had grandmas coming through cussing, playing and joking. People talking about their Cadillac or their co-op comic books. People still thinking about material things, my shoes. But then there's some people that are just like, who cares? Stop fighting over the house. We don't care, So it depends. But in this case, she was like, you better get him. She was on some revenge stuff.
Okay.
I think what was really that I'm starting to remember all the details, was one of my good friends that passed away came through a guy. He was showing me this is a wild story. I'm remembering all the details now. He was showing me at his job how the executives at his job, he worked on a corporate job, used to hire call girls. And like lunch break, they'd go sleep with the girls, go home happy to their wife. Nobody knows, right? So he was showing me that. And I mentioned it to the girl. She goes, yeah, that's what she was, a high society call girl. It wasn't no and she worked for somebody that I guess got in trouble with the law because this same girl used to live with her. And she said that the Homeland Security came looking for her because she was some home. So I guess it was like a ring or whatever. Who knows what they were kidding? I don't know the whole story. But so she was just like really, all these little things were hitting on facts. Like there's no way I can make this up. I don't know anything. I don't Google people. I don't know. Even if I can't even Google half the stuff that I tell you. So people always like, why do you need to know my name? Because all I asked for is first name, last name, age, and city, right? So or she died. What year did she die? What city did she die in? That's all I need. I didn't ask anything else. So once I hit on all that, I think I had messages for her, messages for her mother, and that was it. And the story, right? A week later, I think, or a month later, I can't remember how, but she called me back. She was like, Simone, I'm gonna believe this. Oh my God. I forgot to tell you, the guy was on the run. He never got arrested. That's why she said,
wow.
Get him, right? Yeah, I remember the date because it was December 3rd, my friend's birthday. And she called me and said, do you know, I called the mother and told her that we had the reading. And she said the day we had the reading was a year to the date that she died.
Wow.
And then the mother called her to tell her the guy turned himself in.
What?
Oh man, you can't make this shit up.
Oh my gosh.
It's been a whole year. He been on the run. So I think doing that reading did something to shake things up. Maybe he felt my energy. I might have read him too. I don't remember. But usually when I talk to somebody's higher self, it makes things speed up when action happens. So that girl called me. The mother was happy. She was happy. It was closure for them. They felt like at peace, So that to me was like one of my favorite, like most recent readings. I've had thousands. I can't remember all of them right now, but that one hits home for me because it was like something out of a freaking TV show, right?
Right. That's powerful and significant that the mom had closure.
One more thing. December 3rd was a year to the date, but it was also my friend's birthday. The guy that came through.
Really?
Come on, you can't make this up. I should have played the number that day.
And that's why I don't believe in coincidences.
Huh?
I do not believe in coincidences.
It was too much. It was too much. Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason. Everything is connected and aligned some way, somehow. I believe that. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
But that was a beautiful story to share because it shows how it can go from negative to positive. And the positive aspect of it is the mom getting closure, and it was her, the anniversary date.
Yeah, both the friend as well. The friend is who called me. So
absolutely. Okay. So when you receive messages or insights, how do you help people connect the dots between what's coming through in their everyday lives or their journey?
It depends on the situation. I would say the way I usually give them options. I'm not going to say you need to do this, you better do that.
Okay.
I'll get the messages from my guides or from their guides. 9 times out of 10, it's very clear. It's not even like a connect the dots. It's usually like, they usually ask me specifics. So I'll say, don't come to me with the tell me about my life. I don't do readings like that. It's should I keep this job? Should I move?
Okay.
Am I going to be with this guy? Is he a good person? Or is she lying to me? Like, it's very specific. I ask for, that way I can.
Okay. So do you often find people recognize something right away, or does it take them a long time or a while for them to hear the message and for it to unfold when they receive it from you?
No, it's usually right away. Cause I think the way I do my readings, if you're skeptic, second you come to me, I don't ask you a lot of questions. So that's why I think they like that already.
Got it.
9 times out of 10, the way I do my readings is I'll read your energy first, right? I read your chakras first. So when I
Okay.
can nail that people that are skeptic, they're like, oh, okay, she ain't know nothing about me, so how she knew that, And
Right.
sometimes I'll read not just your chakras, I'll pick up health issues, I'll pick up,
Okay.
stuff that's going on around you. Sometimes I don't like calling on spirit to come through, but sometimes if they're really adamant, I'll be like, did you have a grandmother that passed away? She's right, she's here. Like,
Right. Right.
it'll happen sometimes. So they'll be like, yo, I was gonna ask about that. Like people sometimes it blows them away because they're like, the things that were on their questions was what they were gonna ask
Mhm.
about.
I can attest to that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I can attest to that being your client as well because it has always been organic.
Oh, thank you.
So I do a pre and I always share people, hey, she's the bomb, y'all. You really want to know. Now
No, and I'll give you an example. There was one of your people, I don't know who it was in your family, but where somebody, a young boy had passed away. Ooh,
yes.
and I think the girlfriend is who I read. I'm literally, and that's the other thing. I get goosebumps whenever I'm right or there's messages coming through. I'm getting goosebumps on my scalp right now. And I remember I saw myself as him looking down at her, like he was
Uh-huh.
standing over, not like from heaven floating, but and he's like, I like your hair. What'd you do with your hair? And in real life, she had a new hairstyle from before he passed, and she was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, how'd you know that?" I'm like, I don't know. That's what he just told me. So it's like fun things like that there's no way I could know. I'm not,
Right.
and I don't even think we were on the phone. I think we were. I'm not now. I do Zoom, but back then I was just doing phone calls.
Right.
I didn't even see what she looked like. But even so, I wouldn't know if her hair was like that forever. From before. But yeah, little things like that are. It's a. I don't have to sell people, and the good thing is I don't advertise. There's always word of mouth, so it's friends that come.
Absolutely.
So usually the people that come to me, even if they were skeptic, the person that
Hmm.
sold them on it was probably a skeptic too, and they were like, "Yeah, she'll never mess with this kind of stuff." So I know you must be good at she
That part.
did it. So I get a lot of those. But usually
Okay.
a lot of things, like I said, sometimes the messages will come out really obscure. Like it'll be like almost like charades for me, right? So
Okay.
that's why I tell people when you dream, write down your dreams because your dreams are very similar to intuitive messages. It's not going to be like, hey girl, you need to call so-and-so. It'll be like little visions or message. So for instance, I have a client, I hopefully
Hmm.
she sees this, that she's been going through a separation. Like she's living with him and
Hmm.
but she's miserable and they're going through a divorce. But every single reading we've ever had, and she's so young, she never got the connection. You might not know. You might know it. Mary Tyler Moore. Do you know that show? Because you didn't grow up.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. So yeah, because I know some people, if you didn't grow up in America, you didn't grow up in the 70s, you don't know. But I always hear the song, "You're gonna make it after all." And she throws
Yeah.
that in that air. So I literally had to show her the YouTube link, the video to show her what the song was. I said, I keep seeing you going like this, like, yeah, I'm happy. I'm getting the hell out of here. So
Wow.
that's been our ongoing joke. I call her Mary Tyler Moore. But she's been making progress because it's been, a lot of times people, they'll call me and ask the same thing over and over again. I'm like, I'm still getting the same message. Like, is he going to change? Is he going to change? Sorry, he's not.
It's not gonna change.
That's what I'm seeing. So you got to make your options. Are you going to stay? Are you going to try to get therapy? I always tell people, it's up to you, depending on how dangerous the situation is. If I see darkness and, danger, I'm going to tell you, get the hell out of there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So she has made strides to, work her way out for them to separate. So I'm happy about that. But I'll see, like I said, I'll hear music. I'll give you an example. I had another client that was, before we got on the phone,
Hmm.
I will survive. I heard that song. I will
Hmm.
survive, and she was pushing two little kids. You put somebody's head in the, you put a kid in that car and you make sure their head's covered so they don't hit their head.
Yes.
I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I saw.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Two children in the car. I saw
Hmm.
two little boys, I think.
Hmm.
I was wrong with the sex. I'm not God. I don't get it right all the time. But it was two girls instead of two boys. But when
Hmm.
I told her, she was just like, "Oh my God, I just got a divorce and I just left my husband and I have two kids, So you saw so I will survive was like confirmation for her. Like you're gonna be good, girl. Like, yeah,
Right.
the summary and then we go deeper. Like once we get on, we go deeper. Okay, ask me questions about him or ask me questions about, my next steps. We'll
Hmm.
go a little deeper. But yeah,
Okay.
that's the short version of how I do.
So my next question, in your experience, what role does connecting with the spiritual realm play in helping people release things like fear, grief, or self-doubt?
I would go a little further, not to say spiritual realm, but yourself,
Okay.
because your higher self. I think
Yes.
that's one of the major issues of why a lot of people are not happy. in their life, or they're lost because they don't know who they are. Right.
Yeah.
Ironically, I was going to change before this show, but hey, this shirt works out, baby.
And period.
Self-love is what I'm all about. It's what I preach. It's what I talk about all the time. And
Yeah.
I'm not like a typical psychic, even though I call myself intuitive life coach, but because you get homework.
Yeah.
After we hang up, before we hang up, I'm gonna tell you a book to read. I'm gonna send you a meditation. I'm gonna give you something to do, because a lot of people, they do not take care of their spirit. So,
right.
And once you take care of you'll be able to tap into the spirit world. You'll be able to hear your ancestors. You'll be able to dream more, but you got to do a daily ritual of some sort. I'm not saying you got to pray for 3 hours. It could be literally 10 minutes a day, but do something to give back, to pour back into you. Because I would say out of most of my clients, the common denominator is they're missing self-love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I agree.
Yeah. They're not taking care of themselves. So, and another big issue, not just for women, but men too, mainly, that's my clientele, is they shrink down for somebody else.
Yep.
So it's like, oh, I don't want to really do that business because my husband's going to get jealous, or my boyfriend's going to get mad because I don't want to really. And sometimes they're doing the world a disservice because they're not tapping into their calling.
Absolutely.
They're doing something that mommy wanted them to do, or their family wanted them to do, versus what they want to do. And
absolutely.
Look at it as being selfish, but yeah, it's okay. You could be selfish, but you got to be selfish and take care of you first, and then you can take care of everybody else. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that big thing, self-love, is huge. And most of my clients know. I'll be like, "Did you read the book?" After they call me for the same thing, for the 10th time. I bought. I'm like, but did you read it?
Right.
I looked through it. Do they have the audio book? See what I'm saying? I tell people,
right.
self-love is work.
Yeah, it is work.
So put in the time, y'all.
And I often tell people, like, it's because it's work. A lot of people shy away from it, because you really have to look in the mirror and look at the bad, the good, the ugly of who you are.
That part.
To move forward. Right. But if you don't, you stay in that rut, and it's a cycle. And especially if it's relationship issues, right? You're going to get another person and you're going to go through the same cycle. You get another, you're going to go through the same cycle. And people don't realize that self-love is everything. It's the foundation to everything. If you're not happy, nobody's happy.
Nobody can make you happy, that either. So like, you have to make
and that part.
Yeah. It's funny you said that. I always say same guy, different name.
Same issue, right? It's not going to go away.
Same girl. I have a lot of men clients too. So a lot of people think it's only women that get readings. Don't sleep.
Right. No. Exactly.
I got a lot of men clients too. And they just don't tell people about it as much.
For anyone that's seeking transformation, I always suggest to look within yourself and trust your gut, right? While at the same time, I truly believe that receiving a reading gives you sort of a foundation in your path so that you can have understanding. So it's kind of like connecting the dots and understanding why you're here, who you are, what you're supposed to be doing, how you should be walking, or whatever the case may be, because that's what helped me. Having closure with my mom, and then her telling me her story made me understand her why. So now I'm not taking it personally. Right. Because now I understand she was hurt and hurting throughout her life. And so it's not about me. That was her coping mechanism. So now I can move on from that. So now I can focus on what I'm supposed to be doing. So my prayers, my meditation, and I don't want to say supplication, but for the lack of better words, I'll use that, was show me my path, show me what I should be doing, right? And it will come in various ways, through conversation with strangers. It could be, driving down the highway and you see a sign. It could come in any way, but you have to be paying attention for you to receive the information. So I just wanted to add that, because you played a big part in my transformation and understanding of my life journey. And I don't think you know that, but I'm telling you now, honey.
I did not know that. So thank you for sharing that. I do want to add that I teach intuition. I teach people how to develop their intuition. And a lot of people think it has to be passed down from your great grandmother. We all got it.
Right.
We've been all brainwashed to dumb ourselves down, and that it's evil, woo-woo, whatever. You'd be surprised once you tap into intuition and use it for good, your life will shift. You'll start to pay attention to the coincidences. You won't be afraid of the coincidences, or you won't be so surprised of things manifesting like that. Because I'm a manifester. People know me. I'm
Right.
magical manifester, baby. If I put it in my mind to it, it's gonna happen. So I definitely want you guys to definitely take advantage of any courses that I have. And if you
Yes.
not me, find a teacher, but find somebody to help you open your mind and to discover your intuition, because that's the name of my class, by the way. Plug. Discover your intuition.
And not only that, but to own their power.
Yes. And here's the funny thing, just to give people some idea, because people think, oh, I got to take it. What am I taking a second class? Am I going to open up a tarot card shop? No. I have people that are entrepreneurs, millionaire business owners, people that are real estate investors, people that do design, finance. There's all different backgrounds that I have of clients, but they use it in their work.
Yes.
They use it in their career. They use it in their families. It helps you really make better decisions in general.
Absolutely.
And you
Absolutely.
understand yourself more, and it literally pours so much power into you, because you're like, wow, all these years I could have did this.
Exactly. That was me.
Yeah, it's like you can't believe me. You're like, I don't know how to do. And that's one of the things I'm grateful to all of my teachers, because when you start doing the exercises, you're like, how am I going to do this? This is crazy. There's no way. And you think it's crazy. You think you're making it up. The voices in your head, you feel like it's an imagination until people confirm, yeah, that is true. I do have a red door in my house.
Right.
And you're like, how did I travel all the way to Texas? I teach that, baby. I create superheroes. That's what I call it. Superheroes.
And you do. Shoot. We get awakened.
Yes.
Right? We get awakened.
I'm very proud of you.
Gratitude. For someone listening who might be curious but hesitant about getting a reading, what words of guidance or reassurance would you offer?
I usually say this normally when somebody books. I say, don't be scared. It's fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun. You're gonna learn a lot about yourself, and that's pretty much what I tell them. Because no matter what the questions are, I'm gonna make it fun.
That's true, and that's true. That's true. You make it easy to understand too.
Say most of my reviews, I always get that. I feel like I was talking to a friend, a longtime friend. Mm-hmm. Like I think that's one of my gifts, is making people feel comfortable. I never meet a stranger, as they say. So that's one of the things I love to do, is talk to people. And I can say for a fact, I got family clients all across the country. If I'm traveling, if I need a place to lay my head, I got a place, because I attract people that I enjoy, that I like to be with. And because of word of mouth, friends of friends,
And that's beautiful. And that's the best marketing, word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best. Same with me. Like most of my clients, I would say maybe 90% of my clients is from word of mouth. I don't have to do much marketing. So yeah, that's the greatest and the best favor that one can have.
Exactly.
So what's one simple step they could take today to open themselves to spiritual support?
Oh, I love that. I would commit to meditating 5 minutes a day. Find a YouTube video, because I already hear you making excuses. I can't meditate. I hear voices in my head. Meditation is not total silence. It's almost impossible to do that. Find guided meditation on YouTube. I actually can give you a link to one that I made. I made a third eye meditation.
Okay.
Third eye activation meditation. Don't just stick to me. I'm not just plugging myself. You can go on YouTube, and depending on whatever you're looking for in life, it could be soulmate meditation, prosperity meditation, morning meditation. Just type it in, and you can even type in comma 5 minutes, comma 10 minutes. The more you do it, the more you're going to want to do more, because it's a natural high at the end of the day.
Correct.
So I would say try to meditate for 5 minutes and then journal for 5 minutes.
Awesome.
You can
gratitude.
That'll be a good way to start working on self-love.
Yes, because that's the first and only love, right?
Right. Yeah.
Gratitude. I appreciate you. This has been an amazing, insightful conversation with you, Simone.
Thank you for having me.
Gratitude for sharing your wisdom and the ways you bring peace and purpose into people's lives. I appreciate you also. Gratitude to our listeners. If you'd like to learn more or connect with Coach Simone, where can you be reached?
You can find me on ownyourpowerlifestyle.com. That's my website, ownyourpowerlifestyle.com. And then I'm on Instagram at ownyourpower. I'm also on TikTok at ownyourpowernow. So definitely hit me up, add me as a friend, follow me. Looking forward to getting connected with you all.
Awesome. Gratitude for tuning in today on Awaken Living with Yali Giovanni. Please visit yaligiovanni.com for further information. Talk soon.
Bye.